This week's forum discusses impacts of dams on fishery resources. I'm going to discuss the dams on the Arkansas River. The reason I chose the Arkansas River because it is a major tributary of the Mississippi River, and it generally flows east and southeast as it traverses Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. For this discussion, I'm only going to stay in Colorado, and I'm going to start at the initial basin, which is in the Rocky Mountains, and it's going to be in the Collegiate Peaks in Lake County, Colorado, near Leadville. And then I'm going to work my way downstream to the Colorado-Kansas border. The Arkansas River Basin consists basically of 4 watersheds. You have the Arkansas Headwaters, which has 32 fish passage barriers, and it has 20 of those. There's 24 dams and 8 others. These others, purpose of them are water supplies, irrigation, hydroelectric, fish, and recreation. The next watershed is the Upper Arkansas. This one consists of 64 fish passage barriers, 44 dams, and 20 others, and these others, purposes of them are water supply, irrigation, hydroelectric, fish, recreation, wildlife. The next watershed I'll be looking at is the Upper Arkansas Lake Meredith. This watershed consists of, or has, 16 fish passage barriers, and of these, 11 of them are dams and 5 are others. The last watershed I'll be looking at of the Arkansas River Basin is the Upper Arkansas John Martin Reservoir. This watershed has 18 fish passage barriers, which consists of 12 dams and 6 others, which this could also be, the purpose of the others could be irrigation, recreation, or fire protection. The Frying Pan Arkansas project was a project that was authorized for construction in 1962 after a congressional approval of the project in 1953. This project constructed a lot of the dams, major dams along the Arkansas River. And the Arkansas River actually lays on the eastern slope, or the east side of the Continental Divide, but the water, a section of the water actually comes from the western slope, and this all started at the Ruddy Dam and Reservoir, which is on the western slope of the Rocky Mountains. And this was constructed in 1964, and it took until 1968 to be completed. It actually has 17 diversion structures in it, and of these diversion structures, they could be tunnels and channels that actually go underneath the Continental Divide and place water in the Arkansas River Basin. The one on the eastern slope, the first one you'll come across, major dam, is the Sugarloaf Dam. This is Turquoise Lake. The next one I'm going to talk about is Twin Lake Dam, or Twin Lakes. This one was placed in there to hold water for another dam further down river, the Pueblo Dam, or the Pueblo Reservoir. This water, the Twin Lakes, actually, the water is released from there to Lake Creek and the Arkansas River for project water use for the Pueblo Reservoir or storage in the Pueblo Reservoir. If you're going downstream further, you have the Clear Creek Dam or Clear Creek Reservoir. The Pueblo Dam has a concrete dam with earthen wings on either side, and if you can see, this is the Arkansas River actually coming out of the Pueblo Dam here. If you keep going down river in the Arkansas River, you come across John Martin Dam or John Martin Reservoir. John Martin Reservoir is unique, or dam is unique, because it was actually constructed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, while the previous 5 dams were actually done and managed by the Bureau of Reclamation. Why I picked this area? I wanted to learn more about the Arkansas, or the Frying Pan Arkansas project, since it is a multi-purpose Trans-Mountain, Trans-Basin Diversion and Delivery Project in Colorado. And it takes surplus water from the Frying Pan River and other tributaries of the Roaring Fork River on the western slope of the Rocky Mountains and puts it in the Arkansas River Basin on the eastern slope. And also the Arkansas River flows by my hometown, so I wanted to gain some local knowledge of the watershed. And the native fisheries and the impact of the channeling of the local watershed, I don't know much about. So on this lower right hand photo, you can see this is the Arkansas River in Pueblo, and you can see how severely channelized it was. And I wanted to learn more about the impacts of this is having on the local fishery. 3 species that are impacted by these dams, but we're just not limiting it to these 3 species. I'm just going to discuss these 3 species quickly. One is the Arkansas darter. The Arkansas darter likes a lot of emergent vegetation next to the waterways, shallow, clear streams, and as you can see, the channelizing of the Arkansas River does not help this for them to be existing. The greenback cutthroat trout should be found all along the Arkansas drainage, and it is not. The dams are really causing problems for this trout. Another one is the common shiner, and it should also be found along the Arkansas drainage. Some of the threats to the fishery resources is the reservoirs in general, no matter what they're large or small, seem to be having an impact on the fisheries due to the water flows or the water levels of the dams and how much is being released and how much should be released and seasonally should be released. It may not coincide with the local fisheries or even the local plants. The concept behind the non-native water coming from the western slope is still one that I'm trying to understand and how that impacts the fisheries. The sediment accumulation in the reservoir has a huge impact on the fisheries. And invasive and non-native species of the local waterways. They could be hitchhiking rides. I mean, you could be talking about mussels. You could be talking about even non-indigenous species like the brown trout or the rainbow trout, which makes the Arkansas River one of the top 100 places to do trout fishing in the U.S., but they're non-indigenous species, so that could cause a problem to the local fisheries. So far, that's it. Thank you very much.